Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Who's ready for a new herb of the week? I am. This one, I only have 2 cards for. Our herb of the week is Elecampane. But I was like, I don't even hardly need 1 card to dedicate a whole week to this beautiful medicinal magical herb, Elecampane. I love it. If you have a yard of space, please grow it sometime, because this is one of my favorite herbs to use fresh, and you might as well plant it as soon as you can, because you use the root of this herb, and so it needs to be a couple years old, and it'd be nice to have a couple plants, because once you dig up the root, it's probably a goner, So anyways, Elecampane is our herb of the week. I guess I only have 2 cards that I could find. Although I sometimes am guilty of finding cards after the fact. Like last week, we manifested more tranquility. And I kid you not, I found another tranquility card that was very cool. It was a snail card. But hey, you snooze, you lose. And I did not find it. So anyways, I do try to go through all my decks and look for every card, but I'm pretty sure I only have 2 Elecampane cards. We've got the Herbal Tarot, which will tell us everything we need to know, and then we have a Magical Herb Oracle card with the message of progress. So this is a great ending of the year herb of the week for us, because we have definitely made progress. There is a light white colored ladder in the background of this plant, this Elecampane. And think about how you've climbed the ladder of your own personal ascension. And then collectively, we have done this together. So that's pretty cool. And then even like in your own life, like when you do your healing work, when you have realizations, when you learn more about the plants, don't you literally feel like you level up? When you let go of old shit, when you do your forgiveness work, you level up. When you expand and grow as a soul, you level up. So that ladder actually is really cool to me. So we'll read all about that. And the tarot card is the Knight of Pentacles. So we actually just hung out with him over at Herbal Marie. So if you want to go listen to the Herbal Tarot Knight of Pentacles Elecampane podcast over there, to see how I introduced it over there. It depends on my mood. I hope I did a good job. I hope I wasn't that much of a bitch. But I dig the Knight of Pentacles, and he has a seashell. Speaking of snails, he's got a seashell helmet. So he kind of has this vibe, slow and steady wins the race. Progress, solid and secure and sure of yourself. He's very confident, but he's sitting down on this rock or pentacle, I guess. It'll tell us in the book. And he is sitting beside a ginormous Elecampane plant as well. So they can get pretty big. The plant itself could definitely get 5 or 6 feet tall if it's happy. And it's got big leaves that are my favorite to pet, because the underneath of them is soft like velvet fur. And you kind of just run your hand along the spine of the leaf, and it's a real sweetie. You leave the top of the leaf alone, because there's always where it connects into the stem, you can almost always guarantee that there's bugs that like to all hang out in there. So you leave that part to the bugs, but you can pet the bottom of the leaf. Some people call this L-fort, Elecampane. So the root tastes like cough medicine. So I just made some Elecampane honey at the end of October because I could feel the dry tickle coming on. Oh hey, I'm getting out my nerdy folder. A card just fell out on the floor. So hey, good. These guys won't be alone. I'll put up this nerdy card. Yeah, I dug up one of the plants, chopped up the root, put it in honey. It makes the honey really runny, and it is good medicine. So let me just tell you my notes. That's in my, oh, okay. It looks like something I would have made for my Patreon page. So there must be a link to this, I guess. Just one page, Elecampane, Elf Dock. It's a very aromatic root, tall plant, big leaves, yellow flowers. It is a spicy bitter. The root, you can put it in honey, use that for coughs. You can make a tea or a decoction from the roots, so you could dry these roots. You can make a cough syrup. Me putting the roots in honey, that is to me a definition of cough syrup. It tastes like cough syrup. What else do you need to do to it? I don't think you need to involve sugar. Just use your honey, but you could do it any way you want. You can make a tincture. It is very, very bitter. And you can use it as a digestive. So because it's bitter. So here's the things that it does in a nutshell. It's a respiratory herb. It clears and moves the lymphatic system. It's antibacterial. It's got inulin in it, which feeds the probiotic bacteria. So this is helpful in a yeast treatment. It's an expectorant. It's an astringent. It helps you dry out if you're super mucousy. It opens the lungs, tones, clears mucus, and good for asthma and cat allergies and hay fever. It can also be used to kill worms in you and antiseptic skin wash. So it's a pretty awesome plant. I'm pretty sure there's a link to that page that I just read, and it's cute. I know I posted it on my Instagram too, so maybe that would tell me if it's on the Patreon page. I can't remember some days. Okay, so the Elecampane tincture, like I said, you could use it as a digestive to help you digest because it's bitter, but you could also take that tincture for chronic coughs or just as a tonic for the respiratory system and the digestive system. So if that seems to be your areas of then try it out. So I know one time, I definitely heard it called Elf Dock, and he is very warm and spicy. The roots keep your airways clear, so it's a good thing to have in the winter. It's definitely a very pungent and bitter tea, and that's why the honey makes it a little bit more palatable. I mean, seriously, that's the way to do it. Now, you could grate the root. Mine was very hard. It was enough just to get it chopped up, and you could, of course, extract it with honey, and you could mix that honey with lemon if you wanted to really go all out. But there's definitely a lot of volatile oils in the root. And like I said, prebiotic starch. So it's kind of interesting that it's so good for the respiratory and digestive, a little bit for the nervous system too, but people with a ton of mucus, eventually their digestive system starts to feel all that crap as well. So it's nice to have an herbal ally that will address both at the same damn time. All right, so that's what's in my nerdy folder. And then there's like another little leaflet from the Complete Guide to Natural Healing, that binder thing. They would send you a couple informational pages, and then you put them in your binder. You ended up paying like $500 for like what added up to a book. God bless the 1990s. We were suckers for all that. Okay. It was also known as scabwort. So that's why Elecampane can be used as a skin wash. They used to use it to clean the sheep. If the sheep, yeah, like bah, if they had scabs, they could help heal up the scabs. And some people used it on their horses, so they would call it horse heal. So depending if you had sheep or horses, you know, you might call it many different things. So Elecampane, so far we can call it Elfort, Scabwort, horse heel. Gets a little confusing. The Latin name, what is the Latin name? Inula heleniums. Inula, like it's got inulin, Inula heleniums. So that is Elecampane. Do you want to hear a little background? Numerous theories account for Inula helium's species name. In one legend, a large-leaved, golden-flowered plant sprang from Helen of Troy's tears. So that's one story. In another fable, Paris abducted Helen while she was gathering Elecampane, initiating the Trojan Wars. In a more factual realm, who wants to live there? The candied bitter root of this vigorous perennial was flavored in ancient Rome as a digestive aid, and especially after rich banquets. The use of the root as a lozenge, and to treat bad breath and indigestion continued through the Middle Ages and into the 19th century. Yeah, you bite in even to the fresh plant, you want to make sure it's Elecampane. It just tastes like cough syrup. It's very medicinal. It is Elecampane. That's why I think put it on your list of plants to actually grow. Yes, you can order the dried root, but this is definitely one I feel like you will want to experience firsthand, so you can have the medicine, so you can pet the leaves, so you can love the plant, and then, yeah, eventually sacrifice one of your plants so you can chop up the root and honey. So, yeah, it's also good for asthma, and it's still used for that. And herbalists also turn to the herb to relieve the coughs from respiratory infections. It works to clear congestion, ease expectoration, and combat germs. However, Elecampane may irritate the mucous membrane, so be sure to use it with caution. So the tincture, in my opinion, would be way too drying. I'm not really attracted to the idea of drinking it as a tea. The only way for me is infused in honey. So that makes it a little easier, not so crazy rough, and not nearly as drying. If you're like me and seem to dry out pretty quick these days, good Lord, keep that in mind. But yeah, you can drink it as a tea, absolutely. It may also help calm the spasms of the bronchial tubes that induce coughing and soothe their linings. Some herbalists believe the tea is gentle enough to give to children with cough. So, you can always dilute, add honey, all of that. So coughs, asthma, you could make a homemade liquor to combat indigestion. Well, this kind of sounds all right. 1/4 cup of the dried Elecampane root. So if you do order some dried, do a 1/4 cup in a cup, 1 cup of apricot brandy. I've never seen that, but for 2 weeks, you let the 1/4 cup of dried root steep in 1 cup of apricot brandy. You'll strain that, and you take 2 or 3 teaspoons before or after meals for indigestion. So if you seem like you have trouble digesting foods, take it before you eat. Let the bitterness of the root get your digestive juices stimulated, and see if it works a little bit of magic for you. The flowers are pretty. You can dry them and remove the petals for like a potpourri. If you add some of the dried root, it will add a little mild sweet scent to the potpourri. And yeah, it's a cool plant. Absolutely. But yeah, just be warned, there is lactones in Elecampane, and that could be extremely irritating to both the skin and internal mucous membranes. So you've got to know what you can handle and what you cannot. I've never had any trouble using it in honey. Just a little bit, right? Stop using it if irritation occurs, and large doses could cause cramps, vomiting, diarrhea, and this says even paralysis. So, I mean, a little goes a long way. Do not use this herb if you are pregnant or nursing without supervision. So anyways, it's not regulated, of course, and maybe it might be approved for flavoring alcoholic drinks, but you know, other than that, it's all up to you. So anyways, that's our herb of the week. A little na 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 na. We just really got super nerdy with it, didn't we? But hey, those lactones that also might be a little irritating, they also fight fungi, bacteria, and even tumors. Another lactone might raise the blood sugar levels and enhance immunity. And then it does have inulin. So anyways, it's pretty cool. You could do more research on it, absolutely. We'll be hanging out with it all week because it's going to acknowledge our progress, get that King of Pentacles vibe going on. I think it'll go hand in hand for us Wednesday when we manifest more truth. And yeah, I'm totally cool hanging out all week with Elecampane, Elfwort, Scabwort, Horseheel. I don't know. That's it, man. Elecampane. All right, so it's 1:22. It's not that I wasn't in a hurry to hang out with Elecampane today, but I've sort of had to step up my commitment to A Course in Miracles and getting that audiobook recording accomplished and finished. And once I just uploaded chapter 22 to my YouTube, and now I'm like on the home stretch. There's 31 chapters. So anyways, don't get up early for me this week. I'll just be rolling in later on, and but I'm excited. It feels like a Christmas gift to myself, to finish, to progress, and finish my Course in Miracles before the new year. And then I don't have that hanging over my head, and I can just focus on the lesson. So I'm really pleased with myself. I don't know if you can tell. So I'm also in alignment now to talk about this next card, Progress, Elecampane. And it has a really awesome oracle meaning. It has a message that it is time for you to take responsibility. And yes, it might also be a period of hard work. Dedication is needed at the moment, or an increase in your commitment. You are being told that you are on the right path and doing things the right way. So yeah, I love it whenever you can up your dedication, increase your commitment. Yeah, maybe it is classified as, quote, hard work, but it's your responsibility to do the things that you want to do, that you need to do, that it's time for you to do, or that you would just like to get done. Just like to get some things done, wrap up some projects, check a few things off the list. So if you're feeling an increase in energy this week, use it. Use it. Use the heightened energy as we come up on the winter solstice, right? Use it to your advantage. Go with the tried and tested way rather than changing plans or approaches. Be very careful with promises and commitments you might be asked to make at the moment, and be sure you can keep them. Make sure you complete any tasks or assignments you are involved with. So it's not saying hey, sign up for anything new right now. Just get it done because you already know how to do it. So a lot of my projects, it's not like I have to do anything differently. I've already set the layout for myself. I just have to finish. Even like with the Knight of Pentacles that's coming up, finishing that series at the podcast Herbal Marie, that will feel so good to be done with. Not that I'm not enjoying it, but it's just, I feel like it's done. It's time to wrap it up. And all I have to do is show up. I have to do like literally 5 minutes of research before the podcast and show up. And it's like, hey, just commit. Okay, you know you can do it. You don't need to commit to anything else right now. Just do it. So anyways, that's progress. You know, you just trucking along. Of course, I just want to chime in. If it's really something that you don't feel like you want to finish, then don't. I mean, hello, you can decide. But you know the stuff that like it'll bug you if you don't finish it. So get on it. So yeah, this is our herb, Elecampane. It's a perennial, so it will come back. It's native to Europe and Asia. The entire plant is down covered, and the green leaves have toothed edges. The flowers are bright yellow, and she says look similar to sunflowers. No, I don't think so. Not really. They're like so much, they're tiny. But they are like little golden suns in their own right. It's not a showy flower. Do not plant this plant because you think you're going to have beautiful flowers. I've not really, maybe because where I grow it is partially shaded. Maybe more in the sun. Maybe it might have more flowers. But it'll grow anywhere. It drops a lot of seeds. Sometimes you'll see it being very happy in a community on a bank side. I saw it one time at the Pittsburgh Zoo, which tickled me, like on the side of one of its habitats. So it'll spread. So if you have the patience to get it established, that's a good idea. Or find a friend who has some, so you can dig up some of the root and try it out. You could still, what is it, December? It's pretty mild here, like you. No, it's probably a little too late to identify the plant to dig it up. But, you know, anytime that you see it in the fall, you can definitely dig it up and try it out. But know what you're harvesting. Disclaim out the wazoo. Magical correspondences for Elecampane. In spells, you can use it for protection, love, and psychic abilities. The deities are Mercury, Hermes, Psyche, Helena, and Paris. The planets are Uranus, Mercury, and the Sun. So they are like little suns. I mean, I guess then it looks like a sunflower. But they're real tiny. They're small flowers. Big leaves, small flowers. The signs with this plant are Gemini, Virgo, Aquarius, elements, air, and earth. All right, so here is the Elecampane progress spell. The roots can be used in magic and spells focused on fairies. You can either plant Elecampane in your garden to attract them or sprinkle it in your home to invite them inside. Wearing it in a locket can provide protection, and it can be used in incenses to assist with shape-shifting. I don't know, I'm just letting you know what it says. Elecampane can also be used in love charms. All right, so this spell will help you boost the energies surrounding something you require progress with. So if there's something that you would love to finish or advance in or whatever, think about that. Gather together. She says the Progress Elecampane card from this deck. Okay, so if you have this deck and you have this card, or maybe you could use a picture of Elecampane and gather a ladder, like an actual fucking ladder, or a high shelf. And I've done this before. I forgot that I did this, and now I remembered that I did this I was like, just had a flashback of me putting this card up on the highest shelf. Okay, yeah, I did this. Take the Progress Elecampane card, hold it above your head, and say out loud. Just put your hand above your head if you'd like to do this with me. Visualize the Elecampane card that I'm holding above my head. I will energetically share it with you now. Put your hand up above your head and say out loud, up and up. So say up and up. Then say the thing you wish to experience a boost in progress with. So I'll just use me reading A Course in Miracles because I would like to finish. I would love to hit that milestone. Here's the spell. Up and up, reading the Course in Miracles. Higher and higher in progress as you go. So then I would take this card and put it either on the top of the ladder or on a high shelf and leave it there if possible for 7 nights, like for a whole week. So basically, tap into the energy of the Elecampane plant and say, and how about like maybe it's your spiritual journey that you would like to progress in. Up and up, my spiritual journey, higher and higher in progress as you go. Progress as you go. How do you say that word? And progress as you go. So anyways, it's just a little intention setting. I would say even just the fact of like focalizing, is that a word? Visualizing and focusing on what you want to do. You've just channeled and directed, like assigned all the energy to flow to that. So anyways, that's your spell. And if I can grab the Spirit of Herbs now, we'll hang out with the King of Pentacles. Again, I'm not complaining. He's a cool dude. The Heir of Earth. I mean, he's stable, he's reliable, he's loyal. The Knight of Pentacles. Because of his understanding of the healing arts and the ways of the physical world. All the Pentacle cards are very earthy, very physical. He's able to teach his wisdom through his actions, his accomplishments, and his words. And he's very patient. His patience is symbolized by the snail-like helmet that he wears. So he's not in a hurry. He's not going to rush you. He's a great teacher. And yeah, he's sitting by a really awesome Elecampane. The Knight of Pentacles knows what it is to be rested and relaxed, and he knows that these attributes of being rested, relaxed, patient, they contribute to his greater health and well-being and clearer thinking. So he is a good businessman because of all that. He's quick-minded, he's analytical, he's industrious, and pretty much whatever he wants to do, he brings his endeavors to success. So it's a great energy for us to tap into. Me wanting to finish all my projects. Maybe you want to launch a product, right? He could help you do that. So now here's his downside. Here's what he's got to watch out for. The Knight of Pentacles has to be careful and watch not to be overcritical of other shortcomings or become jealous of their accomplishments. So it's good to focus on your own projects, mind your own, right? So that's why he teaches us, and this is what he did. First, he heals himself. And then by his example, He will be an effective teacher of the healing ways of the earth. So it's like me doing my healing work. Then through my actions, examples, presence, I teach others. Now, stagnation, holding back energy, like even holding back physical energy, holding back talents, holding back money, all that holding back stuff or stagnation could cause blockages in his system, which would eventually need releasing. So he's got that snail helmet, and it's basically a message is like, even if you're just progressing a little bit at a snail's pace, that's better than nothing, because inertia, stagnation, gets yourself blockages, and then you understand all that, right? Then getting them to move is no fun, rebalancing, no fun. It's just better to always keep at least a trickle, right? So that you can keep some energy flowing. And yeah, don't be jealous. That's ridiculous. Don't be jealous. All right, so Elecampane is coming in with the Knight of Pentacles, because Elecampane will help you be more connected to the earth. Elecampane will help you to appreciate the elegance. Elecampane will help you appreciate the elegance, the strength and beauty of yourself, and yeah, of other people too. So it is a very beautiful, kind of like interesting plant, because it does a lot of different things, and on top of that, gets you kind of connected to the earth and appreciating beauty and elegance and strength. It is pungent, but that pungent taste will get energy moving, and its bitter taste will clear away outmoded ideas and fixations. So yeah, stagnation, think of it in mucus terms, it'll get that moving. If you've got stagnant just energy, creative energy could get that moving. So it is a rejuvenative tonic for the lungs. So if anyone has chronic cold lung conditions with clear expectoration, or coughs, bronchitis, asthma, good for all that. It's good for strengthening the digestion. It will help assimilate food and inhibits the formation of mucus from a weak digestion. So that's how that all plays off of each other and works together and helps each other. Now, if you did not have Elecampane, and you could order it dried, but say like you couldn't, the herbal allies that you might have an easier time getting your hands on is cardamom, the most expensive spice in the world, or definitely one of, but it's fantastic. Cardamom, and thyme. So thyme, just your garden thyme, it does a lot of the same things as Elecampane, and yeah, anybody can get thyme at the grocery store. It's easy to grow. There ain't no excuse for not having time. Okie doke. So remember, don't take it during pregnancy. It is a uterine stimulant. So sorry, pregnant mamas, you have to wait. The herbal essence may be taken if there is a need to incorporate into oneself the healing energies of this night, or when these energies have been blocked. Now, you can chew on a small piece. That will be effective. Like we talked about at the beginning of the podcast, tea, tincture, honey, things like that. It is pungent, bitter, earthy. So that's why maybe the tincture would be better if it's the digestion that you're thinking about, right? Your apricot brandy, get that bitter to get your saliva going. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. But that bitter, earthy taste will also help you to be more conscious of the clearing, the moving, the grounding of the energy that is needed at this time. So let the energy move, let the energy clear, and you be grounded into the earth. That's important, because if you are on a spiritual journey, and you are, the third eye will be awakened and will create a clearer perception. So in order to do that, though, you got to get your energy purified, get your energy grounded, and then you're primed and ready to go. Now, you could make a tea or take the tincture. And if you do have, Michael Tierra suggests that if you do have a chronic lung ailment, combine it up with wild cherry bark, comfrey root, and licorice. All right, so anyways, that's our herb of the week. That's who's hanging out with us. I'm excited to hang out all week with Elecampane and a ladder and the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is all about loyalty and steadfastness and reliability and working as a teacher. And, not even having to try, just teaching by your example. Yeah, he reminds us we need to get moving, create the vision and follow it. Pay attention to your body's needs. Carry out the need to ground ideas. So it's like if you feel like you can't get the ideas in your head manifested, let's see if working with Elecampane this week could help you progress in that area and get your ideas grounded so that they can sprout up and manifest. So anyways, now I'll somehow get some affirmations for us this week. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming back. I'll definitely use this one that they offer in the book here. By being in tune with Mother Earth, I strengthen and heal myself. So that's Elecampane. And magically enough, here are our affirmations for the week. This affirmation minute is brought to you by the elegant herb of the week, Elecampane. I am loyal. I am on the right path. By being in tune with Mother Earth, I strengthen and heal myself. I allow the energy to flow. I teach my wisdom through my actions, accomplishments, and words. I create the vision and follow it. I am loyal. I am on the right path. By being in tune with Mother Earth, I strengthen and heal myself. I allow the energy to flow. I teach my wisdom through my actions, accomplishments, and words. I create the vision and follow it. So be it. Or should I have said, and so it is? I was feeling a little rushed here. Shout out to my kids and dogs for being quiet enough for us to get through the beautiful herb of the week, Elecampane. This is an awesome herb for loyalty. I mean, shout out to that. Shout out to knowing that you're on the right path and being grounded and in tune with Mother Earth. Yeah, and feeling your strength and healing and that, allowing the energy to flow, and then being a good example for everybody else. So create the vision that you want, or ask, the Holy Spirit to give that vision to you, and then follow it. Stay on your path right now. You don't need to be distracted by anything. Stay focused. Just be the Knight of Pentacles, be Elecampane, and keep on with your own progress. You'll be thankful that you did. All right, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Come back tomorrow. We'll pull some tarot cards. So much love to you.